All right, Jerry Kerr is president of Segs for Vets, and Jerry, you say this is the 10th year of this program.
That's right. Started this back in 2005, and an all-volunteer effort that, believe it or not, we still have a lot of volunteers that started 10 years ago and are still working hard at it today.
How does this program work? Where does the money come from, and how do you choose the recipients?
Well, you know, we often say we are the worst at raising money of any organization in the country, and yet the work that we do is so good and so impactful to the young men and women. We get a lot of support from people from like Fabic Cat here in St. Louis. Jerry Fabic has been involved for 10 years, and the Missouri Bankers Association, of course, St. Louis Cardinals. Of course, we're going to be there tonight, the presentation, and so through that. Our donations come from mostly just great Americans that want to reach out and help, that understand that, you know, we're unique in terms of charitable organizations that are out there serving men and women coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, in that we're mission driven. We're not going to be here forever. This is not a charity that is intended to last forever. When we're done, we're done. I don't know how long that's going to take us, because we didn't ever think we would be here for 10 years. Still needing to serve this many people, but the truth is that these are really important folks in all of our lives. Men and women who have experienced tremendous loss through serving their country, and with this, we help them overcome their adversity, and so they can live a purpose-filled, joyful life.
Even something like opening a door takes training. And coming through the door there was Quentin Collins, formerly of Florissant. So, Quentin, you're getting a segue today. Tell us about your wounds that you suffered.
Well, I took a mortar hit back in 2004, which pretty much immobilized me. But through surgeries and several other things, I've been able to walk again. But then I was deployed one more time after I recovered, and I took an IED blast that ended up crushing my left leg and then messing up my right leg. So that's what happened.
And so now you get a segue. What do you think about that?
Well, I was a little overwhelmed when they first told me that I was getting one, because one thing that I used to do, I've got a lot of kids in my family. We've got 5 children, and 2 of the youngest, 3 and 7, I used to always take them to the park when I could. But the days of taking the kids to the park and going out there with the family were gone. Oh, I could take them, drive them out there, and then I'd get out of the car and I'd sit on a bench and watch them play. Now I can actually go with them to the park and we can walk together.
And this is Zach Parker. And Zach, first of all, tell us how you were injured.
I was in Afghanistan in 2012. We were doing route clearance, and we were on a foot patrol. I stepped on an IED on June 12th and was injured.
So you lost both your legs and an arm?
Yes, sir.
So how long have you been a part of this Segs for Vets program?
I was a recipient in 2014. I've been part of the organization since 2013, and I've been coming to most of their events ever since. It's probably the #1 organization I've dealt with since being injured.
And you not only have a Segway, but you have a wheelchair type Segway. What do they call it?
An alley chair.
An alley chair. What is an alley chair?
Your guess is as good as mine, honestly. They just told me it's called an alley chair, but it's a game changer, honestly. Like, way better than a normal wheelchair, more accessible than a power chair. Goes and does everything I need it to do, and then more.
How has it changed your life?
Getting around day to day, I don't have to wear out the one shoulder I have left to wear out, and then I don't have to have extra accessibility equipment to put on my vehicle to bring along an extra chair, and it just brings everything into one and makes getting around, going and do things that I didn't get to do before because I couldn't keep up or everything like that, and just makes life better in general, just altogether.
How does it actually work?
So it works off of the way you move your body. When you shift back, it moves back. When you shift forward, it goes forward. on a regular Segway they have the handlebars, but they repositioned it for us so that we can steer right here, and it makes it really convenient because you can just lay your arm down and steer and go and do, and it's super simple. Plus driving around, I can actually go shopping on my own now, push your cart around and still steer and everything. So
Could you imagine life? I mean, without this, it would be a lot different.
for about a year, I didn't have it, and it was a lot tougher. Like day-to-day stuff just almost seemed impossible. And now it's just second nature, super simple.
So you don't have to imagine life. You lived it without this, and it's quite a bit different now.
Oh yes, sir. Much harder without it. I wouldn't give it up.
What would you tell these soldiers who are going to be getting their Segways here today?
Your life's about to change. Make stuff much easier. Traveling will be a whole lot funner now because you don't have to rely on either somebody pushing you or, you not being able to go a certain place or do certain things. Just it'll make life more enjoyable in general.
I can tell you're really happy with this.
I do. I love it. I wouldn't let anybody take it away from me.
Outstanding. Well, Zach, thank you very much for talking with me today, and thank you very much for your service.
No problem. Thank you.
Just talked with Zach Parker, and you could see on his face the difference his Segway has made in his life.
You know, Zach's using an Ally chair, and it's manufactured right here in St. Louis, a company that we own. It's only available to the veterans. We give it away. We don't sell it. It's a unique experience for these young men and women who have been injured to the point where they can't make effective use of prosthetics or stand or walk at all. And so, yeah, it's life altering in terms of your quality of life and what you're able to do.